Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the online Arabic classes offered by Bayt al-Hikmah in Deoband. This is your brother Muhammad Anwar Khan al-Qasmi, the managing director of the institute and the lead teacher in it. We are on page number 51 of Al-Qira'atul al-Wadihah, al-Juz'ul Awwal, part 1. And this is Ad-Dars al-Tasi' wal-Ishrun, lesson number 29, 29th lesson. In the previous few sections, we discussed the idea of al-Mu'tal, and briefly we also discussed al-Mahmuz. Again, I'm recapping. I would like to summarize the key points. Al-Mu'tal is any verb that has waw or ya at any of the three radicals, at any of the three root letters. If any of the three radicals or any of the three root letters is waw or ya, that verb is technically known as al-Mu'tal. And if the first radical has waw or ya, that is Mu'tallul fa, and that is more technically known as al-Mithal. And if the second radical has waw or ya, that is known as al-Mu'tallul ayn, and more technically it is known as al-Ajwaf. And if the third radical is waw or ya, that is technically known as Mu'tallul lam, and more technically we call it as an-Naqis. So we discussed these concepts in detail, and we practiced a number of verbs. So now we are going to discuss in this lesson, to explore in this lesson, the idea of Mahmuz. Mahmuz, I have already discussed it in brief in some previous section. Mahmuz is any verb. In Arabic, Mahmuz is any verb which has Hamza in any of the three radicals. So if any of the three radicals is Hamza, that is Mahmuz. If the first radical has Hamza, that is Mahmuzul fa. If the second radical has Hamza, that is Mahmuzul ayn. And if the third radical has Hamza, that is Mahmuzul lam. So we will be practicing the Mahmuz verbs, al-Af'alul Mahmuza, those verbs which have Hamza in any of the three radicals, in any of the three root letters. Alright, so we start now. Bismillah. ذهب حامد وخالد إلى دكان الخباز. Hamid and Khalid went to the shop of the baker, Al-Khabbaz baker, who bakes bread or who sells bread. ذهب حامد وخالد إلى دكان الخباز. Hamid and Khalid went to the baker's shop. Khalid بدأ الكلام. Khalid started the talk, the conversation. Khalid بدأ الكلام. Al-Kalam meaning speech, Al-Kalam meaning talk, Al-Kalam meaning word, Al-Kalam meaning conversation. Khalid بدأ الكلام. Khalid started the conversation. فسأل الخباز, and he asked the baker, هل عندك خبز جيد? Do you have a good bread? So you see سأل, Sa'ala, Sin, Alif and Lam. This is a Mahmuz verb. This is the verb which is directly related to the theme of this lesson. Sa'ala yas'alu, Fataha yaftahu. The second radical, the second root letter has Hamza, and therefore it is Mahmuzul Ain. This is a Mahmuz verb, and since the Hamza is on the second radical, so this is Mahmuzul Ain. فسأل الخباز, he asked the baker, هل عندك خبز جيد? Do you have a good bread? قال الخباز نعم. The baker said yes, عندي خبز جيد, I have a good bread. خبزته الآن, I baked it right now. خالد سأل, Khalid asked, من أي شيء هذا الخبز? What is this bread made of? قال الخباز, the baker said, هذا الخبز من الدقيق الخالص. So the question was, من أي شيء هذا الخبز? From what is this bread? Meaning, what is this bread made of? So the baker answered, هذا الخبز من الدقيق الخالص وهو رخيص. هذا الخبز من الدقيق الخالص وهو رخيص. This bread is from pure flour. This bread is from pure flour. وهو رخيص, and that is cheap. ثمن الخبز الواحد ربع روبية. ثمن الخبز الواحد, the price of a single bread, ربع روبية, is 1/4 of a rupee. 1/4 of a rupee. ربع meaning 1/4. So again I am repeating this. هذا الخبز من الدقيق الخالص. Al-Khalis meaning pure. Okay. This bread is made from pure flour, pure dough. وهو رخيص, and that is cheap. ثمن الخبز الواحد ربع روبية. The price of a single bread is a quarter rupee. 1/4 of a rupee, meaning 25 paisa. خالد أخذ خبزا لحامد. Khalid took a bread for Hamid. So أخذ again, this is a mahmuz verb, and this is mahmuzul fa because the first radical has hamza. وخبزا لنفسه, and another bread for himself. ودفع الثمن إلى الخباز, and he paid the price to the baker. أخذ الخباز والثمن مع الشكر. The baker took the price with thanks. Again I am repeating this paragraph. خالد أخذ خبزا لحامد. Khalid took one bread for Hamid. وخبزا لنفسه, and another bread for himself. ودفع الثمن إلى الخباز, and he paid the price to the baker. أخذ الخباز والثمن مع الشكر. The baker took the price with thanks. Okay. So again here the verb أخذ has been used, and that is mahmuzul fa. خالد مشى مع حامد إلى المنزل. Khalid walked along with Hamid to house. Khalidun masha. This masha yamshi, this is mu'tal, and this is mu'tallul lam, and this is an-naqis. Mu'tallul lam and an-naqis. Khalidun masha ma'a Hamidin ila al-manzil. Khalid walked along Hamid or with Hamid to his house. Wa fil manzili qala Khalidun li Hamid, and Khalid said at home to Hamid, khudh hadha al-khubza ya Hamidin. Oh Hamid, take this bread. So this khuz is basically imperative form, fi'lul amr, which is derived from akhadha ya'khudhu. So you have to practice the different forms of the mahmuz verb, the past, the present, and the fi'lul amr and the fi'lul nahi. So this is khuz. You have to see the other examples of mahmuz in the same light. When you have any other verbs on the pattern of akhadha, so you have to convert it into its different shapes and structures in the same way. Khudh hadha al-khubza ya Hamidun. Oh Hamid, take this bread. Wa kulhu, and eat it. So kulhu, kul, and who is pronoun, and this is mansub pronoun. So az-zamirul mansub. So kul, this is from akala ya'akulu. Akala ya'akulu meaning to eat. And this is again mahmuz. This is fi'lul amr, like khuz. Khuz hadha al-khubza ya hamidu. Ya hamidu, O Hamid, take this bread. Wa kulhu, and eat it. Hamidun akhadha al-khubza. Hamid took the bread. Wa shakara li Khalidin, and thanked Khalid. Thumma akala, and then he ate it. Wa huwa masrurun, while he was happy. Masrurun meaning happy, glad. Muhadatha, conversation. Man sa'alaka, who asked you? Sa'alani akhi, my brother asked me. Man tas'alu anta, whom are you asking? Ana as'alu akhi, I am asking my brother. Mada ta'khudhu min dukkan al-khabbazi, what do you take from the baker's shop? Ana akhudhu min dukkan al-khabbazi khubzan, I am taking a bread from the baker's shop. Man yakhbizu al-khubza, who is baking the bread? Al-khabbazu yakhbizu al-khubza, the baker is baking the bread. Okay, khabaza yakhbizu meaning to bake, al-khubz meaning bread, al-khabbaz meaning baker. We call it in Urdu as naan-bai. Okay, tamreen number 1. On the next page 52, we have the tamreens. Tamreen number 1, and in this tamreen, you have to see the different forms of the mahmuz verbs. He has used a number of mahmuz verbs in their different forms, in madi, in mudare, and in amr. So you have to see all of them. You have to think about all of them and see all the other mahmuz verbs in the same light, so that you are able to convert them accordingly into different shapes. Okay, akhadha, he took. Akhadat, she took. Akhadta, you took. Akhadti, you feminine took. Akhadtu, I took, for masculine and feminine both. Ya'khudhu, he takes. This is mudare. That was past and madi, and this is mudare. Ya'khudhu, he takes. Ta'khudhu, she takes. And ta'khudhu, you take. So wahid muwannath ghaib and wahid mudhakkar hadir in mudare, they are same. Again I am repeating. Wahid muwannath ghaib and wahid mudhakkar hadir, in form, in shape, they are same. Ta'khudina, you are taking, feminine. Akhudhu, I take, for masculine and feminine both. Akala, he ate. Akalat, she ate. Akalta, you ate. Akalti, you ate, feminine. Akaltu, I ate. Ya'kulu, he eats. Ta'akulu, she eats. Ta'akulu, you eat. Ta'akulina, you feminine eat. Akulu, I eat. Sa'ala, he asked. Sa'alat, she asked. Sa'alta, you asked. Sa'alti, you feminine asked. Sa'altu, I asked. Yas'alu, he asks or he is asking. Tas'alu, she asks or she is asking. Tas'alu, you are asking. Tas'alina, you are asking. As'alu, I am asking or I ask. Bada'a, he started. Bada'at, she started. Bada'ata, you started. And bada'ati, you feminine started. Bada'atu, I started, for masculine and feminine both. Yabda'u, he starts. He starts, he is starting, he will start. Everything is denoted by the same verb. So yabda'u, he starts. Tabda'u, she starts. Tabda'u, you start. Tabda'ina, you feminine start. Abda'u, I start. Now you have to be very careful. He has started the imperative forms and the fi'lul nahi forms. So khuz, fi'lul amr from akhaza is khuz, and muannath form, feminine form is khudhi, and fi'lul nahi form for masculine is la ta'khuz, don't take, and la ta'khudhi, this is feminine. And kul, this is fi'lul amr from akala for masculine, meaning kul, and kuli is feminine for feminine singular from akala, eat. La ta'kul, don't eat. La ta'kuli, don't eat, feminine. So la ta'kul and la ta'kuli, these are fi'lun nahi forms from akala ya'kulu. And is'al, ask. Is'ali. So when the verb is mahmuzul fa, when the verb is mahmuzul fa, the fi'l al-amr is different. And when it is mahmuzul ayn, that is different. So in both cases, in fi'l al-amr forms, there is a difference. In akhaza and akala, when it was mahmuzul fa, in case of imperative, the alif was dropped in fi'l al-amr. But in case of sala, when the verb is mahmuzul ayn, alif was not dropped from fi'l al-amr. This is very important. You have to note this difference. Is'al, ask. Is'ali, ask for feminine. La tas'al, don't ask. La tas'ali, don't ask for feminine. Sal, sali. La tasal, la tasali. Sal, ask. Sali, ask for feminine. La tasal, don't ask. La tasali, don't ask. Okay. And then ibda. Ibda, ibda'i, la tabda, la tabda'i. Ibda meaning start. Ibda'i meaning start. La tabda, don't start. La tabda'i, don't start for feminine. So basically, another important point you have to notice that in case of mahmuzul ayn, the form of the imperative will be on the pattern of mahmuzul fa, and it is also different from that, meaning both ways. One way is like mahmuzul fa, like khuz and kul, so sal and sali, khuz and khuzi. But another format is also used in Arabic, and that is is'al, is'ali. In one way, according to one way, the alif is kept there. Aliful amr is kept there, is used there. And according to the other format, it is on the pattern of khuz and kul when the alif is dropped. And ibda, start. Ibda'i, start feminine. La tabda, don't start. La tabda'i, don't start. Now he has given some verbs. Shakara, yashkuru, ushkur. Shakara, he thanked. Yashkuru, he thanks. Ushkur, thank. Ushkuri, thank, feminine. La tashkur, don't thank. La tashkuri, don't thank, feminine. Khabaza, he baked. Yakhbizu, he bakes. Ikhbiz, please bake. Ikhbizi, please bake, feminine. La takhbiz, don't bake. La takhbizi, don't bake. Dafa'a, he paid. Yadfa'u, he pays. Idfa, pay. Idfa'i, pay, feminine. La tadfa, don't pay. La tadfa'i, don't pay, feminine. Dafa'a also meaning push. Dafa'a also meaning pay. Dafa'a also meaning give. So dafa'a, push, give and pay. And there are some more meanings, but these three are very important for you as a beginner. Tamreen number 2. Huwa akhadha li nafsihi, he took for himself. Hiya akhadhat li nafsiha, she took for herself. Anta akhadhta li nafsika, you took for yourself. Anti akhadhti li nafsiki, you took for yourself, feminine. Ana akhadhtu li nafsi, I took for myself. So basically, when we want to say for myself, for himself, for hisself, for herself, so he wants to make this expression clear for you, how you have to express this type of sentence in Arabic. So basically, what is important is that according to the difference of the person to whom you are addressing, this will be different. If you say akhaztu li nafsi, for myself, first person, so it will be nafsi. And if it is plural, li nafsina, li nafsiha, li nafsika, li nafsiki, li nafsi. So according to the difference of the person being addressed, the pronoun will also become different with the word nafs. So this is a very important expression. You have to master it. So Alhamdulillah, we completed this lesson. I hope that your concept, your sentence and each translation is completely clear for you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.